Welcome back. Wisconsin is looking for young people with disabilities to take part in a new program. It's a federal grant we've received designed to help those with special needs live more independently. One of the chief recruiters is Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Clayfish. She joins us now live in our studio with more on the Wisconsin Promise, which we will get to in a moment.
Sounds good.
Lieutenant Governor, obviously 3 major decisions from the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Let's focus on Act 10 because that's where we'll see the most change, or the least change, if you will. Essentially, the court has upheld Act 10. Your reaction to that?
I'm really happy. Obviously, now we can kind of close the book on this debate, and we can all together as a state revel in the fact that we have saved $3 billion on Act 10. That's good for all Wisconsinites. Doesn't matter if you have an R or a D behind your name. Everyone benefits. Between state and local taxpayers, saving $3 billion is a net good.
All right, well, let's move on to the reason that you are here today, and we're talking about something called Wisconsin Promise. You know, I do a lot of work with Special Olympics Wisconsin, as I'm on the board of directors. I know that's something that you all have been involved with. This is kind of along the same path as our organization. You're trying to take people who have challenges and disabilities and get them into a more independent lifestyle. Tell us about it a little.
And we know that people are eager to do this, but for a lot of families, that's starting to think a little bit outside the box. SSI, Supplemental Security Income, is a federal check that some folks with disabilities get every month. And we know that if a youth in the household gets this check, that sometimes that check becomes money that the family depends on, because we know that disabilities are something families cope with. It's not just the individual, right? And so what we're trying to do is ask folks to think a little bit further outside the box at what's going to happen after these young people graduate from high school and potentially even move on to the workforce. That's something that a lot of families have not even considered for their child, but we're saying consider it. We believe so wholeheartedly in what your children can do that we want to recruit you for this new program. So if you're between 14 and 16, or your child is between 14 and 16, gets SSI, we want you to go to wipromise.com and tell us about your situation, because we can give you some job skills, financial literacy training, mentorship, not only the student, but also the entire family, so that one day you may not need that SSI check altogether. Well,
this is one thing where when we go out and fundraise for Special Olympics, I always tell people that you will benefit all of us, because somehow these things need to be paid for. If you get someone who is reliant on this assistance but can put them in the workforce, that helps everybody.
Oh, it does. And we know that folks with disabilities make tremendous employees. That's why the governor declared this 2014 the year of the better bottom line, which speaks not only to the paycheck earned by the person who happens to have a disability, it also speaks to the better bottom line of the employer who chooses to employ that worker, because we know that folks with disabilities have a much longer job retention rate than the average American employee. So it's better bottom line for both, but this gives folks the skills they want in addition to the educational training that they're going to need, helps their family members as well. If you make it into this pilot program, you're going to end up with a mobile device, and anyone who signs up gets a $30 gift card. And so we need folks...
You can take that, right.
We can take that one to the bank. We need folks between 14 and 16 on SSI. This is a pilot program, and so we're really recruiting hard for this because we know that it's going to help lift people up.
All right, well, for more information on Wisconsin Promise, including how to enroll, we have set up a link to make it easy for you. It's up at TMJ4.com. Checking back in with Brian Goff.